Okay, good morning everyone. So today we are going to do correct model for our animation. For you who doesn't have any basis about Blender, probably it will be a little bit hard for you. And if you don't have any basis about Blender modeling, you can go to take a look about the basic CAD design in the first semesters. And you can find out the video on the same folder on YouTube in my channel. Alright, so let's take a look. This is the final model we are going to finish in this tutorial. Let's take a look. So first things for sure, this is the finished model. As far as you can see, it's a zombie model. And you have to apply PBL material, which means physical-based material, including normal map, bump map, roughness, specular, and all the different layer material inside your model. And also, for sure, we have to finish the rig part. And it includes the face expressions, something like this. Let's take a look. Go to post mode. And first thing is the basic one, move the eye. And also change the face expression. And also you can open up the mouse. Okay, something like that. And for sure, you can also change and rotate. And not only about the head part, but also about the body part. So for sure, you can move your arm. You can change the pose and change the different position for your model. And also for the head part, it's supposed to move, hold and unhold your hand. Okay. And for the hand part, that's the same thing. For the foot part, that's the same things. You can move and you can drag, change a different pose, something like this. And also, usually we will put the root bone in the center of the body, just like this. And also, in this model, I also designed little bones for control the necktie. This one. Okay, so this is the things you are going to set for your model. And all the things right here, we will use them to do the animations. So make sure you have set up all this controller for your model. And so in order to finish this model, there are a couple things we need to do. First one for sure is about modeling. That's the things we are going to do in the following tutorial. The second one is about texture part. And for this part, we are going to use in 3D Code, or you can use Substance Painter as well to do the texture painting for your model so that you can create a stylish texture painting. Right now, there are a lot of AI tools we can use for texture paint or another to generate different textures. But for this time, we are still doing that in a traditional way because, well, for that part, it requires more basic techniques. So that's the things I hope you can learn. And after you know that, you can go to using something more advanced and also more convenient tools. But let's start with the basic one. And finally, about the rig part. For the rig part, again, the things I ask you guys to do is using manually rig, not Maxamo, not Wonderworld AI, or all the other AI tools we can use online. Using the manually rigging, understand the basic structure of the amateurs, so that once you are going to do the using that kind of advanced tools, well, it will be easier for you. And finally, for the pose, that's about to set different pose inside your model. And then we can use all these pose to do animations. But for that part, well, it's not part of the tutorial at this time. I will leave this part after the midterm work. Right, so that's the three things we need to do: modeling, texture, and rig. And in order to do the modeling, there is some basic idea I need to let you guys know. First thing is, the most important part about the modeling is about the typologies. Let's turn on the wireframe so that you can see more clear. As far as you can see, for example, like the model right here, actually, if you take a look about the eyes or the nose hole and the mouth, all the things here, they are continuous ring, right? There's one ring, second ring, and for the other side, that's the same things. One ring, second ring. And for the mouth, that's the same. And why we need to do that? Why we need to make the wireframe look like this? That's because when we are working on our animations, well, this kind of flow of the wireframe will affect the movement of your animations. So you must make the rings continuous, especially when you are going to set animation for this area. So let's take a look about the example right on the right side. This is some online reference which I took from the internet. As far as you can see, here is the mouse, and for sure for the mouse we have open mouse and closed mouse animation. For the eyes, we have open eyes and closed eyes animation as well. So in order to do that, you have to make this one looks like a ring model, ring wireframe, so that when you are going to close and open up your eyes, well, it will look more natural. And very important thing is, when you are going to do animation setting, it's better to keep all these kind of moving part in a closed mesh, not triangle mesh. If they have some triangle mesh, well, usually it will look not very natural. So that's another thing. Keep the typology in a cool mesh and make sure they are continuous if they are going to move. But for the rest of the part, for example, except the eyes and the mouth and nose, for the rest of the part, like the head part or the neck part, probably doesn't have to move that much. So for that part, it doesn't matter. You can have triangle mesh or even 5H mesh, is also okay. But usually it's better to keep your model in 4-side polygons, which means cold mesh. Alright, so if you take a look about this reference model, everything right here, they are cold mesh. And also, another important thing you guys need to know is that if you are going to make this part move, like for example, this is the elbow, right? And here is the joint of your leg. If you're going to make them move, it must have some segment right here. And it's better, at least it has to be 3 segments. And for the middle one is the one which allow your model to move. The model will bend right here. This one will bend. And for the other two, this is the one to control the deformation. If you don't have these two, your model will deform and be distorted a lot. So that's the basic principle when we are going to do the modeling. Okay, and for the rest part, actually, it's more about manually control. So there's nothing special in modeling. Just manually control and try to follow the principle of a typology and keep your model with less faces. If you increase the face too much, well, it will be really hard to control and also increase the loading of your laptop. So that's the basic things I hope you can understand. Alright, so now for the next part, let's get started to do the modeling. That's the basic introduction about the following things we are going to do. See you next time.